everybody?
Yeah. Tell us what your name is.
My name is Nigel Bryce. My stage name is Chase Millions. I'm a rapper, and I guess in the industry, I noticed that a lot of artists are dependent on the person that's putting the money into them, like the investor or the record label and whatnot. And I'm trying to put myself in a position like Da Vinci, where I guess his talent put him in a position where he's independent of the financier. And I mean, if y'all have any insight on how to get to that point to where I could be the rapper that I want to be, but I don't have to be, I guess, too committed to the investor. And then the second question is, like, can y'all share a story where y'all came into an obstacle that you literally had to step your game up or step your level up to get around that obstacle, over that obstacle, and how did that better you in the long run? Thank you.
Who wants to take a shot at that first?
As far as financing is concerned, but when I first started out, I didn't have anything. So what I decided to do was I decided to throw a concert at a local church, singing spiritual and jazz. I went out the way and I found about a G and had somebody come in and record it professionally in Memphis. It was a sacrifice. I mean, really, it was. Yeah, you have to talk to me later after this. But I had it recorded. I took that music, I took those tracks, and I burned CDs. And I took paper, cut out squares, and ran those through the printer, black and white. I went to a church that following week and sold those CDs for $15 a piece.
Yeah.
There you go.
And they sold out. I sang one song.
Your own street team.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. I mean, to this day, I've never had any financial backing. You know, it's just been, you make a little and you invest in yourself. You make a little more and you invest in yourself. Then you make a little more and you continue that habit. So far, everything that we've done has been through my investment of the money that I received doing what I do.
Can I add to that? Yeah. One of the notions I think that, or one of the misconceptions that a lot of new artists have is when you sign up on a label or get an investor that they're supposed to do everything for you. Not the case.
I'm a babysitter.
Yeah. When you get on a label, actually you need to work harder for yourself, as a matter of fact. Because you know you are the person that's going to look out for your best interest anyway. Even though they signing you and doing all that and all that stuff.
Don't forget the small window.
Right.
You got 3 months to do something.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. So you just like almost, just like Kanye West. Some people can't stand him, but I respect them because you're not gonna do him any kind of way. The label not gonna do him any kind of way. As a matter of fact, Common said something in a hip hop song earlier today. While I was working out. He said he started out bashful, went to being an asshole. Now he's international. In other words, you got to protect your own brand. Nobody else is going to do it as far as that.
I'll respond to that, please?
Yeah.
Well, I definitely appreciate the advice and everything. I was at the point where selling CDs hand to hand, and that's how I put myself into a position where financially I'm in a good place. But the main example is like when I was selling CDs hand to hand, I got it into the right person's hands, and it got on Hot 107.9, and I was getting like 10 spins a week. But then they told me like in order to get it, I guess, larger, I have to invest like $30,000 for a promo team.
What?
You're in the run.
And where was that 30,000 going to go?
I mean, to independent promoters and.
Yeah.
You can do that yourself.
Yeah.
It's sad that that I'm gonna be the one to give y'all the grim reaper story. But I'm in meetings because I'm in manufacturing. So I'm in meetings where somebody gets signed, and this is nasty. And they're getting signed, and we're sitting there going, well, Terrence, we need 100,000 CDs, 100,000 posters and flyers. That's just me, the manufacturer, okay, of your deal. You're in somewhere getting jeweled up, and you know, they buying you cars and the girls. But while we're sitting there handling your money. So here's the promoter. They're fussing and fighting.
Right.
Who we gonna get? Well, who's hot? Coalition boys, you know what I'm saying? It's the same gatekeepers. They don't go anywhere, okay? It's locked. Radio is locked. The campaign is locked. It's about 50 to 60 grand a month to rotate that thing. So anyway, so we're sitting there chopping your money up, doing your deal. And, you know, I'm like, well, I just hired 3 people, so I need an additional 15 grand. They're like, oh, Terrence, damn. All right, we'll find a way. You know, we'll shade him down somewhere else. That's just me standing my ground for my business. That's what I'm supposed to do. But it's sad to be at these meetings, on these conference calls, and hearing how they do people with these deals. So what I'm saying in short is, that record deal thing, in you especially, keep your independent hustle, man. Keep your independent hustle. It is not a game. Man, if you're serious about it, one by one, go to your Facebook people, especially the girls, and go, how you doing? Have you heard my music yet? I mean, really call a name out, type it out. Don't get the machine to do it. Do it, because it's really on you. It's really on you. You know what I mean? On how your career or whatever the drive. Everybody doesn't have the same drive in this room. So, you know, and where you lack that at, you need to know that and get somebody to help you with that. Like I said, I'm known as the top 10 graphic designer in Atlanta. I know nothing about graphics, but I got somebody that's you said keep it. But I'm just saying, learn to things that you lack. Get people to get on your team. You see what I'm saying? To take that up, because I'm only as good as my team. I'm only one guy sitting up here. It's like a whole, like, 50, 60 people behind me, letting me sit up here and get all this so-called glory or whatever. But there's machines behind me. So build your machines, you know what I'm saying? People that want to gravitate, you know how it goes. They gravitate to you guys, you know what I'm saying? But put them in position and let them be good at what they say they do, though.
That's all.
That's a reflection.
The label, they doing the same thing.
They just subcontract.
They
They
just
subcontract.
subcontract.
They coming to us. Yeah, I'm doing Def Jam stuff. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing it. It's not Def Jam. You got a logo right? Yeah, I got the logo right.
Yeah. They get a local graphic artist that's loving what they doing, that's really good at it, and use them.
Yeah.
And you can do the same thing. Go to Fiverr.com. You'd be surprised. Yeah, Fiverr.com.
You gotta treat it like a business. That means you need to know the ins and outs of it. You don't have to do it all, but you need to know it all.
You need to know the language.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Case in point, I released an album year before last. Before I released an album, I had to first come to grips with what my demographic was. Once I knew what my demographic was, I said, okay, what types of stations do they listen to? Independent stations, college stations, public stations. These are people that you can reach out to, DJs you can reach out to directly and ship them your stuff. So I chose 30 cities, states that had a large demographic of people that would listen to my kind of music. And then I chose 20 cities internationally that would do the same. I contacted each of those each of those radio stations. Then I contacted the individual DJs at each of these spots. And I mailed them my stuff. First I emailed them and talked to them, and I sent them a sample. Then I mailed them physical CDs all over the world. Now my stuff is being played in Africa. It's being played in Japan. It's being played in the States on independent radio stations, public radio stations, college radio stations. You know, you don't have to sign to a label to do what you love and get paid for it. I mean, of course, the machine definitely helps, but until then, there's no reason why you should wait.
It'll make you famous really quick.
Yeah.
I don't know how much money you're gonna have. But
And
famous.
well, that's something that we need to talk about. With the 30 grand that you were saying there, and let's just say that it was 10,000. where you're gonna put that money, how you're gonna use that efficiently is the key. And what the guys up here are talking about is that it's about the self-hustle. And that's something that always is gonna have to be there, is that you have to be self-motivated in this business. Now, the beautiful thing that's great about this time in history is you can do that. There, you know, years ago, you couldn't, you had to have the label, you know, and now you can be the label. So that's the cool thing. So, question?
How you guys doing? I'm Howard Mims. I'm starting my own record company, a production company called 5 Beats Production. Sorry for the commercial. But I was tending to asking, how hard was it when you started when you first knew what you was doing and you started, how hard was it for you to get placements in those kind of jobs? And was it easy getting around these people? Did they come chose you, or did you just so happen to walk up on the situation? Or, how did you just get in the midst of that kind of opportunity?
I think everybody up here is different.
Yeah.
I can tell you from my perspective, I have an independent label. I started with my nephew, and we had a couple of placements. One of the biggest places we had was on Kevin Hart's movie, Let Me Explain. And you remember when he came out on stage?
Right.
Yeah, that was one of the songs. So, but we kind of fell into that deal working with another artist. But it's still about relationships, being out there in the midst of the people who's actually got a hustle and grind going, and just building teams. It's about building a network. You know, the same thing is I always call it a movement. You know what I'm saying? Because like, to me, people coming together to make one stand, and we can all pull together and make something happen. So pretty much, I guess I wouldn't say a sale point because that sounds some kind of way, but you know, my relationship building point is kind of like, hey, let's become a unity, let's become a team. Whatever you doing, bro, I'm gonna help you. And if I got some plugs, you look out for me. So you find that even with major artists now, a lot of times artists will go out and do tracks on each other's stuff, don't even charge. He's like, yo, bro, you gonna push it? Okay, cool, I got you, boom. If it jumps off, then boom, hit me back. And that's how they do it. You know, I see it every day. I'm in the midst of the studio recording and on the road. So at the end of the day, that's what it's really about. Well, you have to also be practical too. I know with myself, what I had to do when I started my label, I only had a savings account. So I had to literally, I came off the road for 2 years, lived off my savings, but I downsized everything. Sold all my cars and downsized. I became more practical. How can I get money to be able to maneuver, to put myself in the right opportunity? You know, because there are opportunities that sometimes we just overlook, like making appearances and doing stuff. You can go to like even the BET Awards. You can go and be around some people and you'll meet somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. But one thing I will say about those situations, y'all be careful when you pass and you meet an artist out and you're on a show or something and you want to get an artist a CD, most times they're not going to listen to it. That's me keeping it 100 with you. You know, I'm in the no more. When they take the CD, they're like, man, that dude gave me a CD, boom. Because they ain't going to listen to it because they scared that if they play the CD, they come out with a track, you're going to turn around and try to sue them. Oh, that dude took my song. He's like, damn, he'll rather not listen to it. So I see a lot of times, they're like, yo, man, this dude gave me a CD. Here you go, LT. Like, all right, cool. So those are just some practical things. Just kind of be mindful of that. You know, try to impress the artist to the point that something about you is different, and they want to, you know, hey, look, who do I talk to get in touch with you? And they're just trying to work your way in that way. But it is about relationship. The business is not as big as it seems. Trust me on that. Everybody here, we walked in, we all knew of each other. If we didn't know each other, we all like, yo, man, I've seen you before.
Right.
It's small, bro. It's not a big, it really is.
My name is Rajan. I'm graduating from SAE in October, the associate. Quick question. I got a bachelor's. I went off to Georgia Southern and got it in psychology. I was doing some counseling stuff before, but it really wasn't my thing, so that's why I came back to SAE and wanted to come here. But now I'm getting out and I want to get into music, but I'm seeing that, they're calling about these loans and stuff now, so my skill set, there seems to be jobs in other locales than Atlanta, but I know that Atlanta's, or Georgia at least, is one of the big major places where, one of the big markets where I can make an impact. So I mean, how instrumental would you say, you know, I guess Georgia is, or would you say, would it be easier, or not easier, but would it be beneficial to try to fly out to like, you know, DC or other places, or would you say kind of stick to your roots here? Because I want to stay in Georgia, but you know, at this time, you know.
What do you do?
Yeah, that's the question.
What do you say what you did?
Oh, artist, producer, engineer right now, but you know, in terms of in the corporate level, customer service, counseling, offender counseling, correctional type of situations. So I mean, I can get a job doing like working for a government agency somewhere, but that's not really what I want to do because I've done that before. That's what I want to, you know, kind of do my own thing now.
Do you have bills? Like, okay, where I'm going is,
I wish I could stay with my mom.
it's okay, no, it's okay, that's okay, but it's okay to keep a job and do what you love on the side. And, I mean, I'm gonna keep it real, I don't think you have to have a degree to be great in whatever you're doing, engineering, music-wise. Now, if you wanna be a brain surgeon or something like that, yeah, you gotta go and get training and all that. And I'm not trying to play down engineering, because I'm sure there's a lot involved, and if you do go to school, I'm sure you're gonna be way better than and knowing about the, you know, all the, you know, Al, all this stuff, all those DBs, you know, all the stuff that don't make sense to me. It's like, it's either too loud or it's too soft to me, or it's too bassy or it's too, but you know, you got all this kind of stuff that you would know that's gonna make you a better producer. You know, just do it. Go out there and start doing it. I'm sure that's what Al T did. That was his story. He just started doing it, you know. He didn't say, okay, I'm gonna have this plan, I'm gonna go to school, get a degree in engineering, audio, and video. You know, he just started doing it. Then he went back. If you remember what he said, he didn't know a thing about music and the technical part of it. But he threw himself in the deep water. He threw himself. And he took that chance because he loved it so much. He gambled and said, I'm gonna just do it. And I'm sure what he did, and learned from those mistakes and did it again, and learned from those mistakes and did it again. And that's what an obstacle is, Nigel. You run into obstacles, you conquer it and you move on. It's just like a maze, you just turn, you go down another street, so there you go.
So the question really was, can you do it here in Georgia, or do you need to go somewhere?
Well,
And-
you mind?
No, go ahead.
What I will say is, you guys got to keep in mind, she just came up and said at Clayton State University, the film industry, it's a big market. I mean, most times people say, oh, I'm gonna be this great producer, and producers are not just, I hope nobody's offended, but I don't care, I'm gonna say it anyway. Producers are not people who just write a beat.
Right.
A producer is a person that can take a country song and make it pop, make it hip hop. He can take that same song and make it diverse. That's a real producer, okay? So by being a producer and a songwriter, the golden opportunity is here in Atlanta because of the film industry is moving from LA. It costs too much to make movies in LA. If you're really smart, do your research, you'll see that North Georgia, South Georgia are gonna be the hot spots for the film industry. And you're gonna find more work. All these people who are running in LA, they're all trying to run here now. Take a look. I'm telling you, I hear it every day. Yo, I'm coming to Atlanta. I'm sorry,
I
you
want
want
to
to say?
add to that. In 2008,
Janet, come on up here.
in 2008, before they passed the tax incentive, the economic impact in Georgia was about 200 million. Do you know what it was last year?
Yep.
3.1 billion.
$80.
That was the year before. This year it was 5 billion. And they're predicting it's going to double in the next 2 years. Georgia is where it's happening.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people are moving from those, like New York and LA, they moving here because it's so much more money you can do on writing jingles and tracks and stuff like that for the film and movies and stuff. And just getting in those, going to, there used to be a network on the third Thursday, it used to be a Get Connected, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Get Connected.
Autumn Bailey.
Yeah. She had an event, she was every third Thursday. Perfect opportunity to go out. Just go twice a month, go twice, 3 times, 6 times out of the year, whatever. Huh? I don't know if she still does it. She still does it. She still does it. It's over there by the ASCAP office, the CSAC. on the other side. I don't know the name of the yeah, it's right in the area.
And she has different events at Porter,
Yeah,
Porter Sanford.
yeah, you'll find a lot of opportunities. And then get with her, like all these rappers, get with her and say, Autumn, look, I know you have an event coming up. Let me help you. Can I rap at one of your events to give you some entertainment? Work your way in, because you never know, the smaller events are where you're gonna get the most impact. Not at the big major concerts where you see 80,000 people. We're trying to run out of that. When we go to a little wedding, that's where you're gonna get your next opportunity. Because it's gonna be somebody there that's either made it, they have a millionaire, billionaire, whatever it is, but the smaller opportunity is never discounted. That's where you're gonna get your biggest breaks.
What's your name again?
It's called Get Connected.
Get Connected.
Is what it is, and Autumn Bailey runs it, and if you go to the event, you'll see the GMIA table over there, and you'll feel right at home.
And I would like Jonathan to talk to this young man about what Jonathan does best, is put together his own tours and makes it possible for him to work doing what he does and invest in what he does.
I am a secretarial genius. And
With the boss's voice.
oh man, boss is just another word for servant. For real. Boss means all the problems come to you. And you have to take care of them, and you have to deal with people and their ups and downs, and you have to make them comfortable so that they can work. But to what Alfred is saying, everything that we do is in-house. You've never heard of me, but I'm still a working musician, and I'm able to support myself, my family. My wife's car just broke down. We got her a new car.
And other people?
Right, and I employ other musicians, and I'm able to do that under the radar because I do all the legwork, researching. So when we plan this East Coast tour, I go online and I look for colleges that have student activities. I call them, I send them my information, and I refer them to my website, which is very, very good because I put a lot of money into my website, because marketing is everything. Say it again, marketing is everything. I mean, it's so when they come to the website and they see video and they see songs and other things that I've done, they book me. Not all of them, because I'm still calling 100 colleges to get about 12 bookings. That's just what it is. But see, around that college booking, I use the colleges as a catalyst for the tour, because around that, I can also book clubs when I'm in that area, and those clubs don't have to be paying as much because I've already taken care of that on the college tour end. But now I'm getting exposed to a crowd that's never heard of me. You know, also I'm going into the elementary school system during that same time. So I've already called these people. I have a running list of colleges going all the way up the East Coast, Midwest. So I have South Carolina, North Carolina, all the way up into Maine. And we spent about almost 2 months on tour, just going up the coast and coming back down, hitting colleges, hitting elementary schools, hitting now nightclubs or restaurants that offer entertainment. And that's how I build my base, and at the same time exposing my brand. But it all starts with the research. It all starts with the admin, you know. And if you're willing to put that kind of work into it, I treat it like a 9 to 5 that's about 12 hours long, you know. But I love what I do, so that time escapes, you know. But it's just a matter of being a little meticulous and just having to stick to itness, you know. And it's some monotony involved, but at the end of the day, it pays off. These are the things that go on behind the scenes that allow me to do what I do. this is the 90% that allow me to do the 10%, you know. And it sustains me. It sustains me to the point where there are really heavy months, and then there are months that nothing's happening at all, and we're okay. Because these months that we're doing something, we're really doing something because of how we position. And it's about positioning, it's about marketing, and it's about thinking outside the box and taking advantage of any and every opportunity. Like you said, whether it be small or large. I mean, we've done tours and gone to schools that no one's ever heard of. But out of that, someone has seen me and said, well, hey, we're having a convention and we're honoring Harry Belafonte and we need somebody to come and sing for him. And that's how you get those kind of gigs, you know. But you have to have some stick-to-itiveness. You have to be consistent, you know. And you can't be afraid of a little hard work. You gotta hustle.
I have a question that's kind of related to something you just said about how you're able, I'm sorry, I'm Dania, and I'm a singer. When you are trying to do different things, you sing spirituals, but of course you're not singing spirituals in nightclubs, you know. When you're experiencing different genres, I do R&B, jazz, blues, country, rock, and I'm classically trained, so I sing opera as well. How do you go about narrowing down your demographic, I guess, when you want to get yourself out there? Or is it a matter of you're starting out and you need to just take all the work you can get no matter what it is that you're asked to sing or play or whatever?
I can answer that. When I first started out, I was, especially when I decided on doing it full time, I was doing everything. I was playing at weddings, funerals, on the corner, we'll play for food. It didn't matter. I was, and then once your demand starts, you know, actually the people are gonna tell you which genre they like the best. Yeah, and then you're gonna gravitate toward that anyway. You know, I was with a group called 5 Men on a Stool. We all 5 of us with totally 5 different areas. You know, we got Antonio ended up going gospel, and he tours all around churches all around the world. I mean, Israel, this brother's making money, but that's just not me. I can play in the church, I can play some gospel, but I probably gyrate too much. So that means, so I ended up going a whole nother. No, I'm just being real.
That's true.
Right. So what happens? The people gonna put you. They're gonna put you where you need to be anyway. That's where your gears gonna come from. Wherever you're strongest, it's gonna happen automatically.
I have another question that's kind of unrelated.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe be like, hey man, how can you be in church? I'm just saying.
Too bad they're not having a good time.
Right, y'all are so boring. No, I'm kidding. Also, as artists, when you get asked to do things for free all the time, how do you balance that? Because all this, oh, well, it's great exposure, and, you know, we'll give you dinner for free and all that, but dinner don't pay
Well,
bills.
you gotta measure that yourself. You gotta measure that yourself. So, you know, somebody called me to do something free. For example, Heisman Trophy Awards. Let's see, billion viewers. Can you come up and fly? We fly you to New York, and you know, we put you up in a hotel, whatever. We don't really have a budget for this, but it's 4 billion viewers for the Heisman Trophy Awards. Yeah, I do that.
Yeah.
But if Ms. Jones called me, first of all, I probably won't be doing her backyard barbecue. But if somebody called me, Ken, it's some kind of event, it's an award show, who gonna be there? Nobody, but no, I'm not gonna do it free. So you really have to, you have to kind of measure that yourself. Yes, you will be doing free gigs from here on out, forever. And that's what happens. And if you love what you're doing, it really won't matter. All my gigs, I would probably do it for free. I'm not gonna tell you, but you know what I mean? So stop looking at it as a free. Do you love to sing? You know what I mean? And do you feel this place you're about to sing is it gonna bring value to your career? If it's somebody's wedding, maybe not so much. But if it's at Centennial Park and you're opening for Layla Hathaway and they ask you to do it for free, yeah, you should do it.
Just to piggyback on what Ken was saying, if the exposure that they're talking about is only going to expose you to people that want you to do stuff for free,
Right.
it's not really exposure.
Or the same thing you're doing. Like if you're at a wedding, you don't want more weddings,
Right.
so why do it? You know.
Right, but
I would like to piggyback on that. I know I keep coming up. But the reason I asked Ken to come here tonight is because Ken taught me how to negotiate high fees. So would you be willing to share that with the group?
Yeah, that's no problem. Well, what had happened, I know, this is, first of all, this wasn't something that, oh, I'm gonna do this as soon as I get a call. It was something that kind of happened naturally. I got this call, because at the moment, my gigs were like, just sometimes, you know, your gig's doing this, sometimes they do this, sometimes they do this, sometimes you don't get a phone call at all. So you have to be ready for them things, just like, you know, so when you do get a phone call, you better be putting up. We have to pay our bills a little bit different. But anyway, so, right, and she ain't even working. So what had happened? So I got a call one time, and this lady wanted to hire me to play in the Bahamas. And she was going to pay for the whole entire band and our spouse and girlfriends or whatever, and just send us over there for 7 days. They only wanted us to play 2 days though, and it was like simple something. It wasn't even a show. It was like, we want you to just play in the foyer when people come out for our event. I mean, we were like, cool. So, and it was just me, but I had a band and everything. And so she was like, okay, Ken, how much you gonna charge me? And I really wasn't that experienced, so I was like, are you sitting down? And I was just joking, and she said, yes, Ken. I said, you're not driving, are you? No. And I said, I don't know why I said this and where it came from. I said, I'm $25,000, right? Just playing, you know, because I just wanted to lighten up the mood. And she said, Ken, you know we can't do 25, but we can do 20. It was at that point I got serious. Didn't even have it. Let me get the contract. What's your email? So from that, it was that point on. That's how I negotiate all my deals now. I just play. I'm $50,000. So now when I say 12, oh, that's not bad. So that's how. It's real simple.